Welcome to the HU Move Makers podcast, where we highlight folks that are blazing the trail and making moves in Howard culture. Welcome to the HU Move Maker podcast, where we highlight folks in Howard culture that are trendsetters and move makers. Today we got a special guest. We got a mogul in the building. I'm sure you've seen her merch adorned on stars across the globe, especially in Black culture, man, especially on the internet. I saw you got 300,000, 400,000 followers. Yo, that's crazy. That's nuts, man. We talking about HGC Apparel. Been around almost 10 years now.
Yes, we coming up on a big decade.
Yeah, so I know that's gonna be crazy. Celebrating Black culture. You know, was in the military for 8 years. We got to talk about that. That military life, man.
A lot of things.
You know what I'm saying? Unisex sports wear collection. You know, but what I love about this brand is that it's conscious, and this was way before COVID, way before a lot of stuff was taking place. This sister was on that grind. You know, she had that eye open. So without further ado, I wanna introduce Marcia Smith. Yo, welcome to the show.
You know, back in the building.
Oh, I've been trying to get you on the show for a minute.
I know I got a notification a while ago. I was like, I need to get on this, and please, just know having more people on the team. You know, it's been a journey trying to get going during this pandemic, but it's been a blessing.
Yo, so HGC, what's HGC stand for?
HGC stands for Hot Greeks Couture. I pledged while I was at Howard. I'm a SGRO, part of City Incorporated. Yes.
Did y'all just have a Founders Day?
Yes, we did. You know,
that's what's up. That's what's up.
So okay. I pledged 2006, Quad Life. So I had a business called Hot Greeks Couture. So that's what it stands for. So I did the Greek stuff first, as far as making items for the Divine Nine, and then I moved on over to do items not necessarily exclusive for Black people, but just making it more inclusive, because they would want to wear the stuff, but I'm like, you're not Greek. They're like, let me keep going. I'm like, no, you know.
Right, like little
yeah, it was them boosted. You just like, shout out the boosted. They was definitely trying to shimmy with the cap. I'm like, no, you can't wear that, bro. You gotta you gotta relax. So that was the whole thing. So I just wanted to be more inclusive. So just making that whole thing happen. So I shortened it from Hot Greeks Couture to HGC Apparel to still have everybody come to the same helm. So
that's so you did what they call, you pivoted. So you started with one, and now you got, you know, Black by popular demand, which is really taking off.
So many of them. I got a lot of them. So.
That's everywhere, and you know, that's one of those brands. Like, I had no idea that was Howard that put that together. Yeah, I like what you and the other guy do. Support Black colleges.
Oh yes, I definitely see him a lot too. I haven't been able to run into him, I think, because of the military, you know, other things, and just here and there, me being on the West Coast and everybody being on the East. I never really actually got to spread that Howard love or anything like that. So I definitely support his brand as well. I think he came out a couple years after me, like 2008 or so.
Crazy. So military. So I mean, in reading your bio, it's like you put military, and then you go into like, that was kind of what made you start this. Is that right?
Well, as far as just wanting to continue, I had it already, being at Howard. I already was doing that whole kind of just Black power empowerment thing, but more on the Greek side. But then when I went to the military after I was out of college, that's when I wanted to push that message, especially when I was overseas. I was stationed in Germany. I've been stationed in Korea, in Hawaii. I've been on missions in Turkey and in Poland. So I've been so many different places, and just maintaining my Blackness or just keeping my Black footprint has been very important to me, and these messages. So that's why I even I've been maintaining it this long, or doing this brand for so long overseas and everywhere else, it was really, really prominent over there, just because I've been so many different countries trying to maintain who you are and all this Howard Blackness in all these different places. So
did you have this brand going while you were in the military?
Yes. So definitely that duality, like people always talk about, like, how do you work that 9 to 5? And then, like, I had an extreme 9 to 5, not even a 9 to 5 position, which more of like it's like 6 to 6, like a 12-hour type of ordeal. So, you wake up about 6 o'clock, you're working out 6:30, you have to do that. Then you go to work about 8 or 9. And then you're there till 5, 6 till they tell you, you know, they try to keep you hostage, but I'm always, you can't keep a Howard person down. I got to get out of there. So, but yeah, it's a very much, you do the work till then. Then after work, I would come home and attempt to do business. I have a son as well. My son is 7. So I
Whoa.
have, as a single
Oh,
parent, I
so
was,
you a certified boss. Wait, so you in the military, you got a clothing brand that's popping.
yes.
You a single mom. Wait, I mean,
Yes, baby on the hip, baby on the
yo,
hip. He was
yo,
on
that's
my head for a minute trying to make it
and
happen.
you a SG role.
You got to do it
All of
all.
that. So I mean, walk me through. First of all, it doesn't, to me, when I hear somebody like with a dope clothing line, especially this celebrating blackness,
Yes.
it doesn't seem like the military would be like embracing that. You know what I'm saying? Like no type of individuality, you know, like, hey, what's she on? I don't want her in a foxhole with me. She talking about, you know,
No,
fashion
I
and all of
think
that. I mean, was it pushback when you was getting this brand off the ground?
definitely. As far as just being black in the military, being a female in the military, it's very, very difficult, very rough to maintain your blackness, to maintain just who you are, your own type of self identity, because you know that's all about just seeing green and we're all one color, you know, whatever it is. But nah, at the end of the day, you know, I'm the one still being discriminated against. I'm the one still being
Wow.
called lazy. I'm the one still being, you know, it's just certain
So
stigmas.
you felt that. You felt that.
Yes, always. It's certain
Damn.
things. It was definitely a learning experience in the military, but it definitely has its pitfalls, or just being a woman, you know, being looked at because it's a very you know, just very demanding as far as just physically and everything like that. So if you're not necessarily doing the same thing that men are doing, which you know you're not going to do anyway, then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're looked at a certain type of way, or when you're trying to add a little more intellect to the things that they're doing, you know, just stigmas and things that just your blackness is hard to just keep your culture in play in those type of environments. But
Wow. All right, well, did you do all TC at Howard?
oh no, I wasn't even planning on even doing the military type of thing. I was just gonna, you know, go to school, get out, get your. I was from DC. I'm from the DC area anyway, so I was gonna get out, you know, get your contract job, whatever you're supposed to do. You know, I wasn't really thinking about business either. I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of doing shirts and whatever, but not really even thinking that okay, this is really what you know the society needs. This is what you know my calling is. You know, all that stuff. So I didn't really do ROTC, but when I got out, or when I got out of school, I just started doing, I looked into the military because of the recession and things, you know, that were happening. You know, we had the job pitfalls, and I'm from that area. So we were
So
hit
around what year is this when you graduated?
2008. So
2008.
2008, like right when I think Barack got, right when he got in office, or right when leaving office, whatever that time period was, it was that whole time around 2008 or 9 where the economy just, that other time when it fell out. But this time, you know, ready for him. I wasn't looking for a job at that, you know, at this time around, but
So you graduate Howard in '08,
mhm.
and then what made you decide to go to the military?
I just at the like I said, at the time the economy was just a little crazy. Wanted to do something different. Wanted
Wow.
to be just out and away from that whole just rigmarole. So, and plus my family, I have a military lineage. My parents were also in the service as well, but that didn't want to make me go into it. It was definitely very much shy away. But you know, it was like,
Wow.
okay, we can do this. If I know if they can do it, then you know I can do it as well. So
Damn.
I did
Okay. So
that.
you go in about '08 and whatnot. So you launched the brand, what, like 3 years in, 4 years
Oh no,
in?
I graduated 2008. I know it's a lot of stuff I've been over here like accomplishing, and I went to the military 2010. So then I started it probably a little bit after that, or like did most of the black stuff. I was already doing the Greek stuff, just
Right.
kind of here and there, not in the military at all. Then when I finally went to the military, then I transitioned to just do, you know, mostly those black items and other things like that, just making it a more inclusive brand. And that was around 2011. So I'd already had it for a couple years, just doing the Greek stuff, and then went to the military, and then kind of it took
So
off from.
like when you join the military, is it like you got to commit for a certain amount of time?
Oh yes.
Or what
Yeah.
was, because I would imagine like, okay, you join for one reason, like, okay, I need some stability, I need a paycheck, you know, I need some consistency, whatever. I love my country too, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta get, you know, I'm gonna join the military. But then you have this brand that's like it's gaining momentum. So
Mhm.
is it like is the military something you could just put in a 2 weeks notice? Like, yo, this brand is popping right now. I'm gonna get right back. Like, how does that work?
That's very much where I was having a lot of pitfalls to where I eventually got out of it. You know, I was only served for almost 8 years. So I would definitely say 8 years. I got out after that because of all the momentum the brand was picking up. Like, you're featured in Vogue and other stuff, and I'm in morning formation. What? This doesn't make any sense. What's going on at this moment? So at one point, you know, you just realize when you've outgrown that vehicle and you move on to that next mechanism that's gonna, you know, help your blessings and your dreams. So I just, at one point, you know, you run out your contracts. Contracts are about 3 or 4 years for actually enlisted soldiers. Sometimes officers got an in-def on there, so they got to stay until the Army says, no, you can go unless you do something crazy. So for me, I had 2 contracts. I finished that, did my total time, and then that was that. But you have to do it the whole entire time unless, you know, you say something's wrong or some, you know, mishap, God forbid something happened to you. But yeah, so I did my whole time. And then,
so did you actually do any tours?
Yes, I did a couple of actual, not I don't want to say deployments, they call them rotations, but I went to Korea. I did that for a year, which was by the DMZ. So I did that for a little while. That was in 2015. I did a couple of missions in Poland where I like air defense type of missions. So that's stuff that y'all already have been seeing and things. I did that years and years ago.
So you was like you was doing combat?
Not even really combat, but since you're a female, you're not really doing intense combat, but definitely within like on convoy missions, doing things, going and setting up certain stuff, setting up talks, setting up actual mission ready and essential stuff for those missions over there.
So you're doing this while selling merch.
That's what I want to do.
What's going on?
I'm trying to do this. That's the real dream, but that was just the mechanism I chose to be my 9 to 5 to really do these things. So I really don't see it as a whole bunch of stuff. I know it was a lot of stuff when I look back at it. I'm like, oh my God, but for some reason I made it happen and did all that stuff, the deployments and all that while running the business, different time zones. And I barely, basically about 2 years ago, this is the first time I actually even lived in like an actual US time zone to where I could actually do stuff the right way. Like, even though you see the Instagram, all that stuff, that's been built with time zones, 5, 6, 7, 12-hour difference, 14 hour. Like, it's not an excuse. I got to still talk to people at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Welcome to the Go Fish Village podcast. As a Chinese proverb says, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. At Go Fish, our goal is to teach individuals just like you how to build wealth through real estate. So if I want to start a fashion brand, you know, like what are some of like the initial steps that somebody would take?
I know everybody always hears like a tried and true, like or look at the need in society. What's your lane? I wouldn't even really say what's the need in society, but just making sure that the brand that you have has an impact on the society or whatever you're trying to do, be it Black culture, whatever it is you're trying to focus on. It could be like a nursing type of the side of the house or whatever. Just make sure it's impacting whatever field you're trying to go in. Whatever it's fashion as a whole, fashion as like a micro type of thing, like I do for Black people, just, you know, making sure it has purpose. Because also, as long as it has purpose, it doesn't need to actually be that great. It just has that purpose. It's like you need to have something with a purpose, a message, something you can stand behind.
How do you scale?
Man, listen. That's even like what I'm even going through as of this moment. I know that I had to break some things down, build it back up, but scaling is going to be one of the hardest, I feel like, things that you can do. But once you have something, I feel like that's rooted within a message that something that people are standing behind, that a cult following, like a Cactus Jack or anything like that. Even though those are artists, they still have a cult following. So you have to have something that they can gravitate to be like, we're behind you, no matter the product, no matter, like, it's just more of the person, the movement, the whole vibe, you know? So if you have that, then, you know, everything else can kind of coincide and come together. But it's scaling, having a team. The team is going to be like, you know, that loyalty, and that's going to come from that message. If you have no message, if you have no foundation, then you're not going to be loyalty.
So who are who are some of like the initial people that you reach out to and you say, okay, I need this right now. Like, this is what I need, you know, like person 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, you mean like in my team or my go-tos? Or...
Yeah, like when you building that team, like, you know, when your phone is ringing, when you got to be in Iraq at 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
No, we don't got to do that no more. That's done. Like, luckily that's done. But just in general, is to keep things moving and shaking. Just even for I would say a fashion side of the house, I implemented an assistant lately, so an EA assistant. So it's somebody like an executive assistant that can help you just get all your thoughts out, scheduling all your things together, just in case. Because for me, I'm more moving to podcasting, trying to do stuff like this where you can get out and so your messaging. So getting somebody to make sure all those other things are scheduled is essential. Make sure you have that small, like a team for your actual photography. That's essential. But I would say my go-tos would be that, but that's an executive assistant ran. But I would say about five solid people. So PR people, actual studio people like photography, makeup, little stuff like that. But sometimes you can find double people. People do both.
How big is your team right now?
We have probably about almost 10 people. So it's a very, tiny team. I'm actually needing to expand, but I'm hoping after COVID and things like this, Black Friday and whatever, we can implement some more of our people or, people that are just willing to work and do some dope things for the company and get some expansion going.
So these are all full-timers?
Well, I would say mostly, or some contracting, but I mean, this is a full-time entrepreneurship is full-time. They can, it might be an hour here, 2 hours here, but definitely, those pockets of time that you're working on things. I might hit you up late night. I do not care. Get it in gear. I saw something, this is happening, this is going on. So, it doesn't stop, but I definitely try to be respectful in certain aspects, but mostly full-time, employing people at least 30 hours and plus. So
like units, like how many units have you moved like
since
you first started?
So how many? Like I don't countless.
Like how big? I'm just trying to get an idea of how big the brand is. Because I've seen it.
I would definitely. It's moving or getting up into like the definitely six. Yeah, I know over hundreds of thousands of these shirts have been out and about. This is over a decade now, and I know that it's hundreds of these shirts going out. At least I know a couple hundred a day. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that be moving, and it's been slower.
So you're moving a couple hundred a day?
It was at one. Like COVID's a little slower than that, but definitely at least a number of. It used to be like one item. Each item was doing just crazy stuff. It was. I'm like these people. It's a reason why it's out here being copied. You've seen the copies. It's being copied. So that's why. But I'm hoping. Look at me. I mean, I'm getting low. I won't show you my sweater anyway. But I'm over here since we getting down to the nitty gritty. But yeah, it's just definitely into the hundreds. But that's why it's like you need more help. We need more people. You need more help. You need more things popping. I need more, staffing, because it's definitely, as much as you're getting those people to come in, you're getting that many people to try to attack it too. So it's just, very much of a.
So how do you protect your brand when somebody can see it in a whole nother market that you're not around, and not necessarily say, Black by popular demand, but they could kind of steal the style a little bit? And
that's that loyalty I was talking about. Like that's why you see on my page to where like I always try to incorporate videos or try to incorporate current events or very much living and breathing newer age. I don't want to say like a Jet magazine, but like that thing where you pick it up like, oh, okay, I like this today. Like you just went through Jet and you would just look at pictures, you read it up a little bit, but very interactive, kind of just telling you what you need to know. Oh, we got a little beauty, a little Jet beauty of the week here and there. Just it's a very just a live event. So when you have that kind of just, I feel like a nice little melting pot of things, then you create a certain type of customer that you create that loyalty to where when you do see the things that are fake, it's going to be like, nah, that's not right, because, this is this and this. And you need to create that type of customer that is going to create that loyalty to you. So where if you do have fake items, it doesn't really matter. So that's the only way right now, just being Black businesses, small businesses. If you have something that's great, I know that they haven't really seen it before they really started coming at this brand, but the only way to combat it is to really have customer loyalty. Because if not, people don't care about nothing. It's like, oh, what's cheaper? Yeah. They don't care what it looks. They don't care about that. They're like, oh, you take that off and give it to me for $29.99. They don't care. So if they see all the stuff it takes to go into it and all the actual things, that you do, or how I'm talking to Howard, or come back and seeing what you're doing, that's that customer that will, then in turn be like, oh, that's the brand I'm rocking with.
So you get that that customer loyalty by keeping folks engaged, even if it's not just selling clothes. You're making it a lifestyle kind of.
You can, how many varsity jackets you done probably seen today? I know I've seen 6.
Yeah.
Not even mine, just out on the net. Which one am I going to buy today? How many did I buy? None. Wow. So I didn't buy any varsity jackets today, but I've seen a bunch of them. But if something is like, oh, somebody posted about Howard, oh, let me see what you got. if you posting about my school or if you posting about this or that, but just really just showing the community that a brand is there for them. Like you need to see something that's a reflection of you. So that's really what I try to portray. And when you have that, then it's like, hey, I want to come shop with a company, or I want to consistently shop with a company that's constantly being in my image. So.
Hmm. So at what point did you walk away from the military? I mean, was it already a foregone conclusion? Because a lot of times people do have these things popping on the side, but it's still that I don't want to leave that consistent paycheck, or I don't want to leave having benefits. You know what I mean?
It was just time. Like I left in 2017, and it was just a time to go. I didn't really care if it was doing good or bad or indifferent, but I knew it was doing well. It's just like living and walking in your purpose. It's like, I know it's gonna be well. I know it's gonna do, because it's been doing this all this time, 6, 7, or 8 years. When I can't go, when I get invited to Black Girls Rock and I can't go because I gotta go to the field.
Oh, you was like like hell no.
This is what it is. Like that's what was going on. I'm getting invited to Black Girls Rock. I can't do Essence, or I gotta do a video shoot with Rhapsody or something like that, and I'm trying to get time off to go do that in the midst of working. Why am I doing this? And even if it is not necessarily paying out, but just the opportunities, living your dream, you walking in your purpose, why not just do that?
Do you think they made it harder on you because they knew that you had this brand going?
No, it was actually easier, because it's just like, I don't need this. Like one of those, everybody hates Chris. Like my husband got 2 jobs. Like I don't need this. Listen, y'all, like this is what I'm doing. But when you're really focused and driven, like they're like, let Smith go do this. So, like she can go do this because she really has something going on. They knew you were going to be free one day. So they let you go. They never really stood in my way. They knew I was going to be a free.
Wow.
But Black NCOs, Black actual people that in the military, they definitely helped out a lot. The white ones, they didn't mind too much, but the people that were Black, they're like, oh, you about to do something with this, so just go on. Some days I didn't have to go to work, but I was actually doing this stuff. It wasn't like, oh, I'm resting. No, I'm always grinding, always on. And after this, I'm about to go do some headshots so I can send that off. Like it's always a go time for me.
So when you are committed to doing it full time, did you see an increase in the sales?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Definitely. So but I did have years and years of, obviously I knew that it would be, once I can devote my full attention to this, then it could be, what if they saw me at Black Girls Rock? What if any of you all could have seen me years ago? Did you? No. No one's ever seen me. So,
but you making up for it with the big following on social media, because now people can see you on demand.
They still don't even. I'm happy now to even talk to you, or even my Howard people, or they need to really see me and understand, like I'm saying, to get that bond and be like, yo, you got somebody that's really here for you, that's came through hell and high water to bring you this blessing, just to bring all of this to you from all these countries, all this stuff, and to show you that Black excellence can prevail from anywhere and everywhere that you are.
So is this brand, is it big overseas too?
It's actually picking up momentum overseas. I have a couple of boxers and other like actual celebrity figures that wear it over there. I don't know if you know, it's a boxer named Ashley, or I think Ashley Thorne is a professional boxer that wears it over there, that is in contact with Clarissa Shields. I know some people, but just as far as this UK people, I've had a lot of representation with like Lewis Hamilton a long time ago. He hit me up to wear it, and now he's over there doing crazy stuff. And he was wearing, or tried to incorporate the brand, like that was like 2015, 14 or so. Like he was talking about, I like this brand. But those UK like raps, I have a lot of people UK, Canada, and some people in Germany a little bit, but it's definitely picking up steam. And I think because I was over already previously, so I have a lot of military, but it's still just organic. It's been growing. So
does that help when you have influencers wearing the merchandise?
Yes.
So in a situation like that, do you give it to them for free and say, yo, please rock this? Or you like, no, I still need them credit card and that routing and account number?
For me, it just depends. A lot of the people say, like, even a Malcolm Jenkins. I know Malcolm Jenkins, obviously,
football player.
Yeah, like when I came in contact with him, he purchased the stuff. Like I just saw the, now I was like, Malcolm Jenkins, what? You see orders kind of come through. Sometimes you see notifications go by, or just you checking on things. I'm like, no, this can't be. But lo and behold, these are these people. But most people just actually buy things and actually support. But Sometimes it depends. I'll actually say, hey, would you like to wear this item? Influencer, whomever. It doesn't have to be famous, whatever. And they'll be like, oh, I want to pay for it. People actually do say they want to pay. Sometimes you will do gifted things, but you do have actual celebs that are coming out buying things and purchasing all the time. So I'm
Wow.
just
So 100% online. Your sales 100% online?
yes, online for right now. I actually have a mobile store coming. That's during the little COVID area aspect of things that I'm trying to pull up to a little Howard Homecoming was to pull up this year, but I'm glad I got to be able to rest and I'm gonna pull up again. So we're gonna pull up with a little mobile situation.
That'll
Hopefully
be
this
hot.
next year everything is
You
good.
gotta hit up on festivals, Essence Fest, and
Oh yeah, that's what
Howard, and you gotta
you
hit that
got it.
up.
So that's gonna be the next wave. So I'm doing that. So right now we're online, then we're going mobile, and then potentially attaching to maybe a creative space. I'm thinking about it. I like to have my freedom. So we're gonna see.
Well, yeah, no, full disclosure. I mean, I've been in business myself for 8 years. But I sell insurance, so I've been in business myself for 8 years. So I definitely understand what it's like to, build a team and make mistakes and work that 24/7 grind. It's tough.
It's very tough. Like team building is hard. I know that even now it's a lot better. I feel like because everybody understands what it is to kind of be working in the area of solitude or just even being self-starting. Because that was a hard part, I think, for people, especially with COVID and everything happening. Before that, it was difficult to get people on board with that whole entrepreneurial lifestyle. And now it's like you had no choice. You're at home. Are you going to structure your life or not?
Yeah.
So very much like you're on your own. They kind of threw you in the fire. So people are now kind of getting that structure down, just taking those baby steps into being like, okay, well, I can now, be a part of a small moving team. Cause a lot of this stuff is virtual or you do have those meetings and whatever, but I got to rely on you to work by yourself a lot.
Yeah,
So
that's tough. And that's tough for a
it's
small
hard.
business owner because we started our businesses from the ground. So we like, are they working? Are they gonna work it like us? You thinking that all of the time.
So at least like not like, at least they ain't gonna do it like you, but give them some motivation, at least try.
Yeah, no, 100%. So where did you get your business acumen from? Because it
From
sounds
the
like you
streets
was
of
in it.
DC.
You said where?
From the streets of DC, from chocolate cities. I know, but yeah, just very much just I don't know. I've always just kind of been business savvy. But what were you? What was you about to say before I
No,
said
I was
street?
just saying because you got this. I wasn't thinking about business at all when I was a student. I was just thinking about, that moment. It sounds like you was like, yo, I could really cash out or make an impact here.
Oh no, I was trying to be on some Benjamin Banneker, civil engineering. I want to change the city type of stuff, but I'm in class with a full on like 8-ball jacket and I was tripping. And they're like, I mean, I understand, this is statistics, but I mean, you're close though. You don't want to go into fashion. I'm trying to save the world. While you moving like one of them Black Panther cloaks. Remember the cloaks they had in Black
Oh, you was on
That was
that.
me. That was me.
You was on that.
They had those shawls on in Black Panther. I was like, what are they doing?
That was you. They
That was
Chadwick took that from you. They took that from you too.
not even, but that was very much me. I'm very much a big, it's wintertime. You got the whole ordeal.
Yeah.
You got the Clark, I got the Hillary Banks. I'm got the tartan. I'm over here looking crazy trying to save the world. So I'm like, let me just go into go into fashion because I'm gonna try to get this civil engineering job in DC at
So
the time.
what was your major at Howard?
Actual sociology and the business. So I'm trying to do
Okay.
like civil engineering essentially, but it's like we're dealing with sociology and just business gentrification. But what as they build the stadium around me, as they build the national stadium, I'm not helping anything. I'm out of here. So I was just like,
Wow.
nah, but very much there's people for that. And I was like, that's just not my calling because it's obviously people talking about your fashion all the time. And I'm in here trying to be, whatever you're trying to be. And if, just walking in your purpose, I'm trying to do this, but it's like, everything's pushing you this way. So
Hmm. Did you create a business plan?
no.
No business
I
plan.
didn't even, I just, at first, nah, like you say, starting out, just even being transparent. No, I knew I had a brand. I had some shirts I made, all my sorority sisters and people around me in the immediate area, they were supporting and just wearing the items and going to different events, Greek stuff with it. And then just from there, it honestly just kind of at the time I told you, there was nobody else out. So it became just this skyrocketing thing really fast. So it was really no time, honestly, for a business plan. It's just like, where's this? Where's the warehouse? Like, where's the garage? Where's the warehouse? Where's this? Like, it just started, but now I feel like a good time to really reset. I'm happy the world shut down. So I can finally create or get all the things in play that need to really be in play because, it has to happen, popularity or not. Do you want to be around forever or do you want to be around for a moment?
And you building a team, are you, in terms of compensation, are you like saying, "Hey, I'll give you a percentage of what you sell," or did you take out a loan to say, I need this to grow my business, or you just paying people like hourly on a salary? How was
Yeah.
that when you first started? When you first
Um,
started?
First starting out, I mean, we were definitely taking, those nice little interns, getting that nice free help. But as we've moved along, at first you definitely want to get people. But if you have a very strong product, or for me, I have no problem, like I told you before, giving out the product. So a lot of people were just like, "Yo, hold me down with the jacket, hold me down with the sweater," and so you're just really, really much paying people with clothes, and you see it's not bad. So it's not like it's at this point, and it's been like this or just kind of like finished out like this for a while. So I've been getting people like, "Hey, if you do this, I'm gonna give you this." They're like, "Okay, give me this jacket. I want these pants." Like they'll have a full on list of things and they'll build your website.
Yeah,
So,
that's dope.
but that's why you got to make sure your craft is like it's that good. Even for you do even insurance, whatever. I gotta make sure this is set up like this and this, and people will do other things for you for your services because it's supposed to be a bartering. It's supposed to be one of those. That's the nation we're supposed to be living in. So
No, yeah,
that's
that's
very
that's
much
that's
what it
real.
was. And
Yeah.
if people aren't willing to do work for you for your craft, what is your craft? I just feel like I don't get that. I know it can be a case by case basis, but I feel like whatever you're doing, if it's a prominent thing, you should be able to use that to. That's like I'm fueling my life, fueling whatever you're using the clothes. So it's just as soon as you don't have the money, you should be able to take this off here. Help me. Like that's what it should be able to do. So and it has to be great to be able to maneuver. So that's a big part of it was I was getting by on, hey, do this for me and do this, or even a simple share as far as this. I know that different celebrities, as far as even a super scent. We have Super out here, and she wear my clothes all the time. And certain things where she would start out, or she was thinking about products and stuff she wanted to do, but just sitting around, like everybody saw the stuff I was already doing. So then just to do that type of stuff to interact, or even helping out if she wanted to do shirts or whatever, she would do the promotions in exchange, or even for I just give her the shirts and then she would just do the promotion just to even try to figure out, because at the time it was no crayon case or anything like that, but just to try to figure out if she wanted to even do an item. But even throwing me those promotions to even sit around and try to figure out, like, is it hard or whatever, just these same talks, like, no, it's cool, you'll do it, you're fine. But simple stuff. And it's like, hey, well, just, for these talks, I'll just shoot you some promotion, whatever. And then they be the strength and the love. And it should be like that because your brand, you have something that people want to wear. It has a great message. And, it's an easy fix. So.
Do you remember the first time you was walking outside or whatever, and you just seen somebody randomly with your stuff on?
It was a long time. Honestly, this is the craziest part. I went so many years because I was overseas for so long, and people will they weren't wearing it over there besides me giving it to them or whatever. But like, firstly seeing somebody that, oh, like this is my item, like someone on the radio kind of thing. I didn't see that maybe like till 6 or so years in. I came back from overseas and just visiting the States, and I think I was down south somewhere, and I just saw somebody with a shirt on, and it was the first time. So I'd actually just overseas, you're just over there by yourself or over there with onesies, twosies, but nobody that you can actually see, purchase, and buy. I didn't know how big the brand was. I didn't know anything that was going on for years. I was just doing it. I just had a dream, and I was like, I'm going to do it. I know it sells. I never seen it though. I just saw
Wow.
pictures online, and I would just kind of like just being, I don't want to say just being on a extensive deployment, but I was overseas, so I was in the States. So I could only rely on the photography. That's why the page is how it is. And I wanted to keep that since I was overseas and could not do the photography or couldn't, or just really lived off the people wearing the items. I wanted to maintain that type of ordeal by not having very legit models and everything, letting the people carry the brand because the people have carried the brand for so long. So
Why
I
do people connect with this brand so much?
I just feel like because it's personal. I feel like it's a very personal thing. One of the only brands that really is like that has very, very strong messages, as you can see, respect, protect, love the Black woman, and things that are really, that hit home to you, even though people don't want to sit and talk about it. Hope I don't get killed for being Black today. All we ever did was be Black. Everybody want to be Black till it's time to be Black. Just very strong things, even though, as far as Paul Mooney and things, but making that a very palatable message. So at first, it was just everybody want to be nobody want to be, Paul Mooney understand. So that was the whole thing, and just trying to really put all the things we've seen in our culture and making these things palatable, making it a thing where you can have it and it transcends on media, I think is why it does so well. Because at first it was just that, and it was like everybody want to be Black till it's time to be Black. Boom, then it goes viral. Or just hope I don't get killed for being Black today. That's the thing I did around the Freddie Gray incident. When that had all happened, that was around 2015, 14, or Eric Garner, Freddie Gray, all that stuff. Like, hope I don't get killed for being Black today. Wow. That goes viral. Just very strong messages that, it got taken down several times by Instagram and other platforms, but it kept going viral. So that that's why I think it's just living in my purpose. I feel like just really being unapologetically Black. No, I'm unapologetically Black, man.
So do you approve every item before it hits?
Oh yes, you talking about all these things, everything as far as every design or yes, everything is off some borderline Tyler Perry stuff. I create all the things, but try to keep it very, try not to go too far. Like respect, protect, love the Black woman, Black by popular demand. Trying to make actual collections around each individual thing, but I approve every design, make every design. I definitely don't want to do that. It's not too many of them. I would love to incorporate others, but keeping it so solidified so the place to get it, if that makes sense. So you don't just veer off too much, keeping the same type of styling and things. So you'll, just branding basically.
So how do you know, like I know one thing the clothing brands, especially like upstarts, have is like my boy, he started a shirt line and he was like, all right, like I was like, yeah, I want a large. And he was like, all right, once I get 10 more large orders, you know what I'm saying? You'll get
it can be like that sometimes. Sometimes it's like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I know pandemic, COVID, it very much became like that. Like, y'all, if you rock it with me, I can give you this in 3 weeks. That it became like that. But for so long, I definitely had stuff in stock ready to rock. And even now I do have stuff. A lot of the items are in stock besides my bomber jackets. That's the last item and it's coming by sea. Yeah, I'm like, come on now. But that's the last thing I have sailing on into the HGC Apparel fleet. But other than that, no, but I at least try to say online when you do have something that's a pre-order, like, hey, this is going to take this amount of time. If you do want it, just being very upfront and transparent. People still, don't read, but if anything, you try to let them know sometimes. And during COVID, I just, being patient with these small businesses. It's been a struggle for all of us, having to like really recuperate, get everything back, really trying to do that stuff. But generally I try not to do that, but it's been a process. But I think moving into next year, I can be back to having everything in stock, consistently, not so much because I have like 80 or so. It's a lot of items. So I want to have a solid 40 in stock at all times, just try to really scale it down. But other than that, yeah, just keeping
so
that.
how do you know, like, okay, large, I got to get X amount of larges, smalls, like.
Yeah, you'll just see it, as far as reporting and whatever, as your reports and things you'll see as far as people buying stuff. And even for me, luckily, like I told you, I don't have too many different, it's the same, maybe family, I might have 5 or 6 respect type of items, so it's not, you can just see what's kind of selling, which things, which items. So it's like, okay, let me just pull this back. Let me just put this up here and restock this, or let me pull this off,
How has the fashion community embraced you as a whole?
I'm I feel like I'm that like that rebel girl in school. It's just like, what is she doing over there? It's like very much that. It's like they all do their own thing. I'm on the bike over here. Like I'm just kind of that's really much how I feel like it is. And it's like when you have these messages or things like how we have now with the whole Meg Thee Stallion, Protect Black Women, like people or different magazines and companies have definitely been hitting me up like, hey, what's going on with this message? Or when it's time for the messages to come out, then they see what's the most fashionable aspect for that message. So then they'll come on and be like, oh, wait, let's see what this one has to say. Because they already got something, you know, like that's when that comes out. But other than that, they don't want to play. They don't want to play with me.
Damn.
You know, but it's not bad. It's just I'm not necessarily like a high fashion. I have all these crazy racy messages that, you know, you got a bomber jacket on or something, you got some drip, but it, you know, they don't love us on it. It's just definitely very, you know, it's hard to palate sometimes. So, you know, I just know that, but I know that the people need, the messages are more important than who's going to be able to for playing nice. I feel like, in my opinion, because it's not time to play nice. It never was time to play nice. So I don't mind being the odd one out at the end of the day when we have respect, protect, and love the Black woman. When we finally have something to where you have a situation to where you need to look at a message, get a feel for something, and you have something to look back on. Because usually you'll have 20 shirts that say protect Black women on it now. Like, no, even though you do have that, you have one solid thing that's like, oh no, this brand does this about this message. Let me show it to you. You know, like stuff like that, to where you have those things now. Like, oh, no, everybody want to be Black. Let me show you this brand that does this message. Like, all we ever did was be Black. Somebody called the police on us. Like, people really do that now, to where it's like really being phrases in your culture and phrases in your life. So I just like for it to be in that aspect of things now. So
yeah, so I seen and I know what you're talking about. I mean, a lot of this stuff has become really popular. Has that helped your sales? The fact that, you know, things are like social media is, you know, you got deaths of Black people getting, you know, I mean, incidences of Black people getting murdered. That's like right in our face. And I would think that would have awoken the consciousness of consumers when it comes to, like, you know, what they wear. How has that affected your brand?
I don't even say it like, I don't want to say like deaths increase sales, but it's just like, obviously just even more awareness. Or, you know, every time that you do have a death and people just recollect or things, people become more aware of their surroundings, of brands that don't even serve your purpose. I feel like even with the George Floyd thing, people really were starting to realize like brands that don't serve your purpose, or brands that don't, you know, have your best interest at mind, and just really not even so much of full on boycotting these other things, but just really taking those steps to really support your own people and let your people, you know, see if we can do it. Because if we don't even try to rely on our own community to help, it doesn't matter if you're leaning, if you're going to break it or whatever, but you have to lean and see if it can even support it. Like, how do you know if the footstool can support you if you don't sit on it? Yeah. Like, you don't know. So just giving us the opportunity to help them and do that aspect, I feel like has been the most helping with sales. I feel it really hasn't been the events, but really them seeing like, oh, this is a Black business I know is going to help. So that's really been helping sales, because I already had consistent customers, and then it's like, we know this business, they have all the messages, we over here now. Like, it, you know, it just became a whole thing, and unfortunately through events, but not, you know, it's just like, I know somebody that got us now. Like,
but you sometimes feel like, man, I've been on this.
Yes, like
I've been on this.
Don't care from Howard. I'm like, yes, like,
y'all just now catching up. Like,
yes, I mean, I just feel like it's a good thing. Like,
give me my flowers.
I just feel like I've been on this, like, let me help you kind of thing. Like, I've been on this, just push this message. It's not even so much of like, oh, buy me out. It's like, y'all push these messages out here, because the more it's in the media, the more they can't turn away from it. The more you can't turn a blind eye to this. If you see it, if you have respect, protect, love the Black woman in your face daily, then you're going to start implementing it in your life. You're going to start saying it. You're going to start living it. It happens, but it's just people, you know, just trying to get these messages out there. And when you start putting it in their face daily, they're going to, so what's that shirt about? On the fourth day, on the fifth shirt, they're going to start asking you questions. And once you start putting it in their face unapologetically, then eventually they will have those conversations. It does work. It does happen, people. I'm telling you.
Well, I want to ask, so how supportive is Howard of your brand? Do people know? Because I didn't even know that you went to Howard until.
I just feel like Howard is just Howard. Howard, once they know, it's just like, you from out? All right, you family, then come on in here. It'd be like, it's just really, they don't care. It's more of like Howard be having its own kind of thing going on. But once they find out, it's like, you know, like once it's like you fam, but it's never really been a thing where it's not love. It's like, hey, I want to do this at the school. All right, come on in here. It's like that kind of thing, but they're not really like reaching out like, hey, what's going on over here? It's more of like when you do reach out, they do.
What about alumni?
I need to really connect with more alumni. I know I'm a part of like some alumni groups, but really like getting a solid, like consistent, like how the podcast was. I think I've been trying to even, like I've been in contact with you guys, just trying to maintain more of that, just even on this type of level, just the connection with the
Oh
alumni.
no, we gonna get it out there because we ain't got 360,000, but we got about 36,000 Howard followers. So
That's good.
we gonna get that brand popping. So you gotta make I guess you probably really can't make a Howard edition because that would be like a trademark type of thing. But
As far as a Howard edition of what? As far as a shirt or
yeah, like
I was supposed to do the shirt for 2008 for the was 2018. I was supposed to do the actual shirt for the school. You know how it is. They gave me the design, mad late. They talking about they got this is their price point. They already don't want to give no money.
You said how I'm supposed to make money.
No money. They don't want to give me no money. They want some intricate. I done gave them the slap design. The design was crazy.
They want caviar on
nautical
their
design.
budget, huh?
It was great. Went within their budget. It wasn't even like it was just off the strength. Like obviously it's my school. I'm doing it off the strength. This is the shirt. Everybody will get it for the good price. Y'all all about to walk out here with the $20 boys. What like $20 boys looking like this?
Oh, word?
I'm about to give you the drip. And then they're like, can it be blue? Bye. I was like, bye. I was like, get out of here, Howard. Bye. And it was like a week prior. I was like, you need this shirt or you need the final edit in like a week. And I gave them the shirt, kept asking them. Then a week prior talking about, can you change these colors? And no, Howard, I can't. Because you want $20 shirt. Like, no. Wow. I'm just hoping to really, much again, do another Howard edition of an item, even when stuff opens back up and everything is good. I'm all for that. So even if it's with y'all, if it needs to be a collab, Howard Alumni Podcast or the page.
Oh, hey, let's get it popping.
That needs to be a thing.
Hey, whatever idea you got, let me know. I would love to be a part of that movement. Mm-hmm. What made you go to Howard?
I have a similar, maybe Felicia Rashad type of story. I don't know if you saw on the Breakfast Club the other day. My mother was very much on that whole Howard thing. She herself, before she went to the military, her parents, they weren't trying to do her financial aid stuff, but she had got accepted to, she was going to go to Morris Brown. So she was going there, and then whatever had happened, as far as, how these older Black communities, Black stuff, Black problems, she wasn't able to necessarily go because they were trying to fund it. Like one of those, I'm not going to take out no loans, Black problems. So that's how that happened. She didn't have to go to Morris Brown. So I feel like she just kind of always instilled or had that drive for me to go to Howard or go to a Black school. We were in the DC area. They were in the military out there. So I was just like, I wanted to go to school. Time came up and started talking about schools and things. And I'm like, I'm going to go, University of Miami. I'm going to go down here and get it popping. I was trying to go somewhere else or other stuff. Wow. Not really, at the time, I'm young. I'm still very much Black, but I'm trying to be Black and have fun. I'm trying to do I was tripping. A lot of my family is from Florida too, from that area. So I'm trying to go down there and hang out with my cousins and stuff like that. So
that's real.
I was doing that. I'm trying to go to fam, anything in Florida for real. That's what I was trying to do. But she was very much like trying to be at the mecca of higher education. And she was like, well, this is the best school. And at the time I bowled when I was at Howard too. So I was bowling before then. And so
at the time, what all? You do everything.
No.
I'm saying you a baller too. Come on.
I was on the bowling team at Howard. I was the captain of the bowling team at Howard. So I was more questions. I did that for a little bit, but at the time they needed, they were looking for more Black bowlers. They had the little Black bowlers there at Howard University and the other Black schools. So
you said they had the little Black bowlers at
Howard. Had the little Black bowlers.
Wasn't everybody Black?
No, at Hampton and other couple schools, they were not. So when I applied to Morgan, there was a couple other schools I wanted to go to, they did not have an all Black team. And that was a definite deterring factor in going to Howard. Because I'm like, how are you promoting Black education? This team ain't Black. I don't like that. That's just personally me. They can do whatever they want to do. But I know at Howard, it's probably, if I'm the captain of this team gonna be Black. Like this gonna be Black. So that's why I definitely was out at the end. So I had an athletic scholarship to Howard University, and that's why I went really from the bug in her ear, and then after that, getting the scholarship. And
so what was your average bowling score?
My average in school, it was like a 217, 220 something, 217 or something like that.
You ever bowl a 300?
No, I have not. But
You never bowled a 300?
has, yes.
Oh, you
But
weren't
my
no real
teammate,
bowler.
and she's bowled it for us. So I live vicariously through her. But
Wow.
I definitely, it's been definitely female black bowlers that have bowled it on the team and while at Howard. So
What is it like being a bowler? Like, to me, that's like the most like finessing sport ever.
What you mean?
Cause why all the other athletes is running miles and you know what I'm saying? You just
We were
down there
definitely,
like
I was in Cook Hall as well. I had to live in Cook Hall when when I was in school. I was training. I was in the gym at the bottom. Don't do that to us.
Okay.
We had to do intensive training, wrist workouts. Okay, like we had to make sure those wrists were strong. All right, knee for the bending. Don't do that to us. Because it is one of them
I
little
didn't
sports
know.
like tennis, soccer.
I didn't
But
know.
yes, it's definitely a lot of black bowlers. The top black bowlers were at Howard though, so y'all do need to know that. I know people weren't really, using our bowling team. We had all the best black bowlers. Y'all didn't know, but we was like number 2 in the MEAC. Hold on, y'all. Like,
so were you traveling around the MEAC circuit? Like,
yeah, like we had matches against like Fairleigh Dickinson, UMES, and Morgan, and all, just we were up and down. And UMES is they're mostly a predominantly white team. So even that we would be UMES and Howard, and that was the white team. So I consider us the best in the MEAC because we're the black schools. I don't have time for this. Man, another black school. We the best, not black. So that's how that was.
Bowler. Interesting.
Bowler.
How would you describe your Howard experience?
It was definitely, I would say, unmatched. Just something you remember definitely for the rest of your life. Just when I first got there, even maybe the first party I even ever went to at Howard, just random. When you get there, you're like, you touch down, put your stuff down. Okay, well, what's going on for the weekend? What's popping? Like, I was already from the area, so people kind of want to follow you around. I've been in PG Plaza numerous times. So, they want to follow you around, see what's going on. But the first party I went to was the Alpha House Party. What? I remember that, and it was a time. I just remember the vibe. Like, they was part, like, if you don't never been to school before, you're going to a house party. They got the things in here. You getting the cups with the Jews. The Alphas got their jackets on. They strolling. It's just the experience. It's like this is the very first thing you go to. You've been at Howard 3 days, and you over here, they barking it. They over here. All kinds of stuff is happening at a house party. I'm drinking stuff out of a cup. I don't know if I make it home, but I'm loving it. Like, I love the experience. But even from that to you doing protests on the campus or things are happening, political stuff is happening to where you go to the cap and they'll have like a just the DJ be in the cafeteria. Then you'll have like a whole like, okay, make sure you come to the rally. Then we're gonna have the rally after party that night. But the after party for rally. I love Howard. Like, I could do injustice and twerk. Like, that was what was so great about Howard. Like, you could really like party hard and play hard. Like you could get your work done. You could really, get some nice education or some really just hearty education from like Dr. Carr and just other people. Just you get those like Russell Simmons, everybody would just come and step in, Blair Underwood, just come teach classes randomly. It was just a different experience, unlike any other, which would make you spoil. You're like, Blair's here again. We don't want to watch no more movies. Like, we be in that doggone theater acting up. Like, no, we don't want to see nothing else. They come do all the screenings at your school. You just bougie.
We were spoiled. You're right. We were spoiled. We were so spoiled.
It was a great experience. So
it's crazy. Why SG Row?
I would definitely say just because I like a nice intimate type of bond. I don't want anything that's really too much for the glitz and for the glamour. I want women, as you see for myself, women that are really going to put their boots on ground, get out here. The ones that were in the tutoring sessions, we're the ladies that are actually teaching you how to do the stuff, teaching you how to do your English, teaching you how to do your math. They're the ones sitting in the scholarly in the hours.
Shots fired.
Fired. You got to have that three to pledge and everything like that. We don't have time to be out here, just really like, even though we don't have the most glitz and glamour events and other things, I like how they're just, meals on wheels, very much Marcia Dimes, very putting that more womanly and just educational touch and just nurturing the community aspect. Even though you have other ones that just, they're just more for that. We have this major event for this and that. Like, I'm just trying to get 10 meals, go help these people over here. Like, I saw them on the street the other day. I need to come over here. I got 5 of my girls. We made a potluck. Like, I like that kind of stuff. So that's more of the environment for me. And my brother is a Kappa too. So he pledged as well. So he had met some people. He was at VCU and he had met some SUOs. So he was there. So I already was kind of leaning on that. But he was just like, I really think that, this is definitely the move for you. Even though we have that kind of bond, it was still very much, he's my big brother. So, kind of looking into that too. He's like, I like that show. I feel like that's more, your thing. And I was like, okay. And even though I was already liking them at the school, I kind of, once I researched more, I definitely fell in love with it. And that became my home because I just want a little more grit and women that are not so much, really worried about being all, I don't want to say dolled up, but just really much of, I just like a different type of vibe. I like a different type of thing.
So do you know Jay Duncan?
Yeah, I know Jay. That's my line sister.
That's your line sister?
9. Yes. I'm the quad.
Yeah. I had her on the show a few months ago.
No, I saw it. I was like, I know, because you see, I sent me the thing. I was like, how did I miss it? I know Jay, they coming for me. Get out of here. No.
Yeah.
Like,
Jade is a beast.
I'm so excited. That's what I was saying. I was talking about the scholarly things. It's her. She's obviously, as a dentist. Then you have my other sorority sister that just got her PhD. I have another one that's a social worker. That's all on the line. These my ace, she's trying to be a firefighter in Reno right now, the first female Black firefighter out here. Wow. So in Las Vegas, I'm in Las Vegas, but she's out here in Reno and doing that stuff with there's so many of us that are diverse in what we do. And even I would love to get Inez on here too. She's a PhD recipient, but she likes to be private. But we definitely, just scholarly aspects of things that I like.
What's up?
But yes, Jade, that is my sissy.
So you so you say your son is 7?
Yes, he is 7.
So how did that impact you having a son? I mean, it kind of came like that's like a wrench in the plans for real.
I mean, at the time being at the time I was married too, so it was a very much about Black love aspect.
So you was married. Oh man,
I had too many things.
Wait, you was married?
I was just living my life. I'm trying to live my fullest Black life. I'm trying to live my life to the fullest.
I feel like you done live like 10 lives, yo. Like
I feel like it too. You don't know until you say it all. It's like, dang, I did too much. Like, you got to that.
Damn, you time out. So you, I can't. I mean, you're from the area, all right? You go to Howard. You're on a bowling team. That's random. I'm sorry. That was random.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's on a bowling team. So you finessed the scholarship.
Oh, not a finesse. Wait, I earned it. I earned it fully through and through with that high average.
You come up with your SG role. Come up with a fashion line. You
yes.
Go to the military of all things. Thanks to go to the military to find a job. Nobody.
What? I needed
Nobody.
to travel. Well, I didn't want to travel, but just doing something that was to where you could be in a situation to do the master's part of the situation. Because I knew that military wasn't going to be too strenuous. So let me do something to where I could possibly, do some schooling and other things with it. But these people, I told you all the missions I was on. You think I did that schooling? Like, these people, military.
So you was married. How long were you married?
I was married a little over a year, but I was with him a few. But that's the thing, like you just get together and you were together for a certain amount of time, but definitely talking for more than that. Oh Lordy. But listen, we going to the house now, guys. I told you I like to be interactive. So we don't want to die out on y'all.
No, we don't want to die out. So if you was married for I mean, what do you think that do you get bored quick?
No, it was just very much with this person. Well, at the time, my ex was not he was just not supportive of the business. That was the issue. So it wasn't anything more than that. It was just, why are you doing this? You need to be doing this. And I'm like, well, I'm going to do business. And that's that.
Was that a hard decision for you?
Very hard. This is your family. So it's like, I want I want very much, for everybody to get, I have a whole black love, black men, I love you, respect, take love the black woman. This is my whole infrastructure. That's just that. So, uplifting black men, having a son myself, that's very much what I'm all about. So when you have someone that's not really on that same path and that alignment, it really, can be damaging to your whole just infrastructure, even as a woman, because just like, you get married, like, that's it. Like, I made it, that's it for you. Like, you didn't got the bag, so to speak, and that's you can sleep peacefully at night, I didn't hit all your womanly goals, I would say.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be like, oh, I'm not gonna be married, or I gotta really, this has to stop, because it's gonna really, you're not gonna have your dreams, and this person's not gonna, nobody's gonna be happy at the end of the day.
So do you feel like when you see, because now it's kind of a narrative like black men don't protect black women. Do you agree with that?
He's gonna take me there, guys. I don't necessarily agree fully with that. What I do think is that it's just, it's just a carelessness. And I feel like men just need to get back to being, not being so careless with women and so careless with their position in the household, so careless with, just day-to-day things. It's just, I feel like it's finding your way back kind of thing. That's all that is. Just reckless with the mouth. You see what's happening right now in just day and age. I just think everybody just needs to, hit a little reset, figure out what's going on. I don't want to necessarily say you're not being protected, but it's just, it's a lack of focus, I would say, if that makes sense. Because I don't necessarily think it's a malicious thing, but I do think it's a very much like everybody needs a hug kind of
Basically,
thing.
like we need
hurt
to be
you.
more intentional about protecting black women.
Yeah, and just not thinking like, well, she know I love her. Like, well, do you say it? It's like, well,
I got you. I
no.
like the clarity that you put on that, because when people just say it like black men don't protect black women, it's like, yo, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's even that. It's more of a sometimes, yeah, like you're saying, being more just implementing that stuff and being more just focused with it and focused with the energy that you put towards black women and protecting them, not just thinking it's I do that, or taking it for granted. Like, yeah, I do it. Do you really? Like, do you really do it? Or are you the one that's in the way? Or certain situations where you even see like black men and black women where the woman might be in a little situation, maybe with somebody in a store, or somebody might even, because most of the time it's that person will disrespect the black woman. And then the guy will be like, "Oh, come on, babe. It's not that serious." It'd be like little things like that. And they'd be like, "Come on." Or just be like, yo, even if so, like, just not even making it seem like it's always the woman or it's always her. Like, come on, babe, I can overreact. I didn't do nothing. This person stepped on me. Like, it just be something else. And sometimes men are not really backing you up, even though it might even seem stupid. It might be whatever. It's just like, I understand, it's getting a little heated. Let's all just part. And not even making it seem like it's just you. And that's a very simple thing to where it's like women don't even feel like kind of protected, I feel like, by black men.
BET was sold to Viacom.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's say a big corporate conglomerate approaches you, give you that bag, that a lot of zeros, and they happen to be owned by some colonizers, but the colonizers paying a grip. Would you ever sell your brand?
I don't necessarily see it happening. Not anytime soon. If anything, I might move it. Because
would you ever sell it to a white company?
No. No, not for me. I definitely want to be the oddball. If anything, before I sell it, I might make it into a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. If that, I'm just like, nobody will have. I just want to blow that shit. Yeah. But we'll see. That's me talking now. But I would definitely, because I want it to be always something. Nobody. Blow it out. Like, not profit. Like, let's go. Because it's giving back to the community at the end of the day.
Welcome to the Go Fish Village podcast. As a Chinese proverb says, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. At Go Fish, our goal is to teach individuals just like you how to build wealth through real estate. Advice. What advice do you have for the 18-year-old Marcia that's coming into Howard right now?
Man. What advice? Whew. for me, I've always dreamed big and just continue to dream big. And just don't let I don't even want to say don't let anybody dim your light or like some cliche stuff. It's really just, I don't know. At Howard, I feel like it's not a place, it's a very much place to cultivate your dreams and your desires and your aspirations. So it's just allow it to shape you and mold you and really allow it to let it say to you what you just letting that experience, just taking it all in so you can really see what you want to do. I feel like I wouldn't really have too much just, hey, do this, make sure you don't, just take in the experience for everything that it is. Make sure you do as much as you want to do. Like you see, I did pledging this, the volunteer, do everything you need to do. And so you can really see what you have a passion for and what you're really drifting towards as a young entrepreneur or creative or anything of that nature. So
100 years from now, what are we saying about Marcia Smith or Black by Popular Demand or HGC? What are we saying?
I'm hoping 100 years from now, y'all are saying HGC Apparel was a pillar and an icon and a movement for the society. I want to be known as something like just a beacon for a standard for Black essence, Black culture, Black uplift within a brand, to show you how to fully brand something, to let it grow, to be one of the few sustaining Black brands after a decade, because a lot of them die. So just to have that longevity and just to really, I just wanted to see like how to do it properly. And that's all I want to see, just to be a beacon of just Black culture and something that is idolized, like you're saying, being that Louis, or potentially even possibly being that Louis and having that store and being that store to finally even be that boutique, because it doesn't have to be so super, super ritzy and whatever. It's nitty, it's gritty, and it's just as much sought after or just bought out just as much as that. It don't have to be even the price. It's just being of that caliber to where you are now valuing yourself at this level, to where you're buying your own stuff out. We don't keep our stuff on the shelves. We're over here, we're booked up out of no ends with the fashion shows and everything like that, just getting countless support, just wanting it to be like that too, because we finally see the value in our items, in our clothes, in our culture.
I love it.
That's what I want.
Yo, so how do folks get in touch with you? How do they go in their Christmas shopping and their Black Friday shopping?
Yes, the Christmas shopping. Well, how you get in touch? The website, www.hgcapparel.com. And that is going to be the same for all social media handles as far as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're going to have that @HGC Apparel. So please hit us up. Emails and such, info@hgcapparel.com. Please let us know any questions, any comments, anything you want to say, show love, all that good stuff. Please shoot us a message. And we would love to hear from you guys. And I'm just happy to finally show my face to Howard and show, another one of your superstars, because, Kamala came out heavy. So I was definitely hitting. I was too excited when, Howard got on the map for real, So.
It's dope, man. Well, Marcia Smith, thanks for coming on the show. I truly appreciate you taking that time out. Good luck on the photo shoot.
Thank you so much. And Black love always. Hit me up forever. HU Bison for life. Take care.
All right, peace. Thank you for joining the HU Movemaker podcast, where we highlight folks that have contributed to the Howard legacy at the highest levels. To hear more interviews or purchase merchandise, please visit www.humovemakers.com.